Anyway, do you talk to Michael? Where is he?
He's in the Middle East. In Bahrain or... No, I haven't spoken to him.
Since he left, really?
Yeah, since the trial. No,
really?
I haven't.
Do you worry about him?
He keeps in touch with Mother, so we know what's going on with him.
You do know what's going on.
Yeah.
That trial, how did that take its toll on you?
It took its toll on my entire family.
Really?
It was hard on all of us.
Yeah, I heard that you were recording in the studio after the verdict came in, or before the verdict came in.
It was the night before we were to go to his house for the verdict, and we waited several days until they came to their decision.
I heard you broke down. I don't know. I don't believe what I read, so I don't know. Was it a breakdown or was it?
It wasn't a breakdown. I was in the studio recording a song on the album. Actually, it's called Enjoy, and I was just doing the backgrounds on the song, and for some reason I just got this really weird feeling that came over me out of nowhere, and I started to cry. There were no windows, so no one could see me in the vocal booth.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I was recording the backgrounds, and it was the funniest thing. Jimmy would say to me, he says, "You sound just like your brother right now." Oh. And I said, "I do," and he didn't know that I was in there crying. Yeah. But I was thinking about him, and I wasn't trying to sound like him, but I didn't feel something was right. Something felt very wrong with me.
So you were thinking that the verdict was going to be something else?
No, it just so happened that night he had to be taken to the hospital, so I think that's what it was. I didn't feel good.
You didn't feel good?
Yeah, I didn't feel very well. And I think that's what it was. I was feeling him at that moment.
And so were you worried about what did you think was the worst that could have happened?
Well, he would be...
sentenced to jail?
Basically, yes. Yeah, yeah. Or to prison, actually. Yes.
And so the family united in one place?
Yes.
Waiting for him?
At the ranch.
Are you close to his children?
Well, his children are always with him, so...
That would be hard.
Yes.
Yeah, to be close. So what do you...
My brothers were off on tour somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
You were closest to Michael?
Yes.
Yeah. And you say now that you and he are the most alike?
Out of the entire family, yeah, in certain ways. That's so... Yes, I did say
Yes, you did say it now. But what did you mean by that? What did you mean?
We have a lot in common. I mean, our love for animals, the way we think about business and our careers. We spent a lot of time together as kids.
The last time you talked to Michael?
It'll be 2 years in December. It's been a long time.
Is there a reason?
No.
No?
Other than, I mean, no animosity, nothing like that. The reason is well, he just finished his tour.
Y'all don't have no AT&T cards or nothing?
That's very true. That's very true. But when you're on tour, you try to get as much rest as you possibly can. Meetings all day long, or if you're working out, that as well.
So there's no animosity? You just haven't picked up the phone?
No, well, actually, honestly, I have. But he didn't return a couple calls, and it's no big thing. I know it because he's busy with the tour and preparing for it's a lot of work and very hard work. And it's just that simple. I think the press made a much bigger deal out of it than what it really is. And on top of that, I was going through my own issues, my personal stuff that I was going through, as well as getting the album together. I mean, he eventually called me.
Do you feel competitive with him?
I'm competitive with everyone.
Including him?
Yes. He's my brother. It's different, though, because he's my brother. I love him.
Competitive in the way that you want to sell more albums, as many albums?
Yes.
Yeah. I appreciate the truth. What do you think of your brother and his transition over the years?
You know, I really don't talk about my brother really anymore. That's a decision I've made for myself.
Good for you. So if you haven't called him in 2 years, it means you haven't seen the baby.
I have not. He did that before when we were talking. He did call me. The entire family went down to his ranch to see the baby, and unfortunately I couldn't get away.
When you heard he was going to have a baby, were you happy about that?
I was very happy, and here we are talking about my brother again.
Okay, come on. I won't bring it up again. Janet's feeling real good about herself.
I just, more so than anything, I want to know that he's happy. That's the most important thing to me for him.
We've got to talk about your brother, okay?
Which one?
Not Tito. Even though anyone nicknamed after a Yugoslavian dictator is great in my book, because that's not his real name, Tito. That's his nickname.
That's his nickname. His real name is Tariana.
Yeah, because no, talk about Michael, can we? Because one thing I very much admired about you is that you have resolutely, and perhaps more publicly than any other member of your family, stuck by Michael through all these many public difficulties.
Well, my family, they don't do very many interviews, and I think I do the most out of everyone in my family. So.
But you've really gone out there for him. I remember there was one thing where you wore a T-shirt that expressed the kind of. Do you remember that T-shirt? What was it? It said on it, "I'm a pervert too" or something.
No, it just said pervert too.
Pervert too. Right, which
that was just honestly,
yeah,
that was the name of
a
a company.
But it's a cool thing for you to do because obviously you're aware of the repercussions when people see that. It's like I know you're not saying he's a pervert, but you're saying, look, you're calling names and this is a name and I'm wearing it and I'm with him and we're united.
Well, I think the most the public has seen me truly stick by my brothers when we did the video Scream. And that's really what it was about. People constantly, you know, messing with him and me being his little sister and having his back the way a family should.
He's obviously, clearly, a fabulously talented person. I mean, I've seen him live. I don't know if you've ever seen him live. He's great. Dynamite. Okay?
Yeah,
but clearly,
yeah,
lots of the
is.
things, and I would interpret this, you know, the constant surgery that seems to be going on, the changing his skin colour, that kind of stuff.
I
that seems
don't
to
like
be.
when people say that, the changing of the skin color. Well, no, because he truly has, he has a vitiligo, and it's actually in my family. Okay. He's not the only person in my family who actually has it.
I didn't realise that other people in your family had that.
Yeah.
Okay. But he seemed to me like he's a man who needs help. I'll be honest with you. There seem to be signs there that you would have to be pretty far removed from reality yourself not to see those signs here that here's a human being who needs help.
You know, I wish he would allow people to really get to know him the way that his family knows him.
So you think it's that, the distance that he puts up, because he's the one who prevents that happening, of course.
Well, of course. I mean, if he chose to do interviews, he could, but he really doesn't do very many, and he is the warmest, most down-to-earth person, the silliest person, loves to have a great deal of fun, and he's just like, truly like everyone else, and I think it's more of the media that has made him out to be something that he really isn't.
Well, they do. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. I probably never will, but certainly there does seem to be sometimes a case to be made for people, it looks like they're persecuting other people. Janet is on the show this evening. Janet made absolutely no demands to come on the show. Okay, we had no request from her record company, from anyone involved in Janet Jackson to come on the show. And in the Daily Mirror yesterday, the big thing in the paper saying, Diva Janet demands black roses, a limo and bubbly for being on this show.
Are you kidding?
And I was kind of amazed that, you know, how simple is it to make, especially a newspaper, which is, as tabloids go, not a particularly bad one. And so there must be stuff like that going on in your life, and obviously stuff which perhaps more specifically affects Michael that goes on all the time.
It goes on all the time with entertainers, and the majority of the things that people actually read, they're not true. But it sells papers, so that's why they do it.
And how is he at the moment, in terms of what's all going on at the moment? How is his emotional health? How is his kind of... Because we read that he's bankrupt, we read, you know...
My brother's great. He truly is. He's doing very, very well.
Okay.
He really is.
All right. You are obviously doing great. I think, you know, that's never been...